Hello! Oh, that's fun. I like that intro. Hello, everyone. It's me, Rosie. I'm the comms manager for Cardboard Alchemy. And unsurprisingly, Peter, who's normally right here, is at PAX Unplugged, along with Chris Strain, one of our producers, and also Luke Laurie, designer of Andromeda's Edge, which is really cool. If you're at PAX Unplugged, I'd be surprised if you're watching this live. My dog is about to bound in, I bet. I'm surprised if you're watching it live, because it's 11 a.m. or what. I don't actually know what. There we go. I don't actually know what time it is where they are in Philadelphia. But yeah, that's my dog having his dinner. I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, so today I'm here, which is very exciting, and I have some questions for you about board games around the festive period. But also, if anyone does have any questions about what I do for Cardboard Alchemy or anything that I do within the board game world, such as reviewing games or how I film them, how I edit them, all that stuff, then feel free to ask any questions. You're also welcome to ask any Cardboard Alchemy related questions. If I can answer them, I will. If I can't, then I can't. Be that because I literally can't share that information or because I don't have it. Thank you so much for the congratulations. It's very kind of you. Yes, I did just get married. There's the proof, shiny ring that Doug made, my husband, and I made his ring, which is really cool. If you have any questions about the nerdy wedding that we had, more than happy to help you. In fact, I've got some pictures over here. I've got a calendar made, which is really cool, and so I can show that to you if you want. But if you don't want to hear about it, that's also fine. It's very, very specific to my personal life, so that's fine. But you may see some cards dotted around, and I don't really know why I'm dressed in 7 different colors, but it's the festive season, and that's what I like to do. So my main question I'm going to be asking people, and I definitely want you to share your stories, is what does the holidays mean to you in regards to board gaming? Did you play a lot of games as a kid? Did you have activities that you did, those kinds of things? I personally had some very strange traditions in regards to games and quizzes and challenges that we did with friends. But I'm really curious, whether games are a part of your life now when it's regards to the holidays and when you were younger, or maybe it isn't at all because your family don't like games, which I know exists. And just curious, how you incorporate the hobby into your celebrations, if you celebrate this time of year. Please share the beginning of your happily married life. Recent crafting works. Which crafting is that in relation to? If you're talking about, I'm trying to work out what that's in relation to. I have been doing an advent calendar that's really awesome by Tower Rex, who make inserts. They've actually made a really cool Flamecraft insert out of wood, and it's really beautiful. And today's, I think it's the right one. I think I've picked the right one out of it. It's not 100% clear. Today's one was really cool. I built this magnetic little thing, which I had to get the polarity right when I put it together. And let's be honest, I got it wrong a few times because I'm not great at science. But I don't actually know exactly what it is. It's got these things in it, and each one has like a symbol at the bottom, like a number, a Roman numeral. And it's supposed to be some kind of fate decider to do with Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know Dungeons and Dragons well enough. So if anyone does know what this is, it's like there's 7 of them. I think it's maybe to do with picking a card or picking a tarot card. I'm not sure. But I do incredibly enjoy that a lot. And there's actually some wings to stick on, but I have no wood glue as it stands. So at the moment, I'm building all these bits from the advent calendar, and I'm not finishing them until I accumulate some glue from somewhere, which I will be buying at some point. But how cool is that? That is so... They're all magnets on all the sides. It's so clever. Oh, my recent crafting things. I mean, I've been doing lots of crafting when it comes to the wedding. I did so much. Even just down to like these little lanterns that we had. I had to cover the inside in paper because they were just too bright, which was really funny. And also I made all the flower crowns. I kind of made my bouquet / didn't make my bouquet. We made all the posters for the quests because we had quests at our wedding. Made a lot of stuff. And then obviously since then, it's mostly been putting the photos into various things and stuff like that. I've been making like thank you cards, which like little postcards, which are really cute, and it has our seal on it, which is there because we love lanterns. But yeah, the quests were lots of fun. Everyone enjoyed doing them, and they had their own little passports, and they had stamped them, and each parent had a custom stamp that I got made. I designed them and everything, and it was really fun. And there was a lot of frogs, which many of you who know frogs are a part of my life now. If there's a frog here, there is a frog up here. Let's get the frog. This is one of the frogs at the wedding. Frog sleeping. Shush. It's back to front for me, so I couldn't see it. But I had a variety of frogs at the wedding hidden, and people had to find them. And if they found 5, then they got the stamp from my mum. They just had to show photos to her. But there was a 6th secret frog just to mess with people. And there were lots of rumors of the secret 6th frog, which was very, very small. And it was hidden behind a lantern. And it said, "I'm a secret frog." So this went very well. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, some of you may know that I love frogs, and I'm sort of a frog in Critter Kitchen in that there is a character called Lily, who is one of the zoo chefs. She wears a bobble hat with actually 4 bubbles, quite an extra frog, and has soup. And yeah, it sort of snowballed around that time. And then I have an engagement ring, which I'm not wearing, which also has 3 frogs on it. So never actually met a frog properly. I've seen them around, but I'd like to meet a frog. But yeah, so, and then another thing, a really cool thing I got in one of the days was, I think I may have opened this one a bit early. I think it's the wrong day, but it's a dice catapult. I just need to get some glue to glue on the end bits, and I need to get an elastic band, which was somewhere in it, but it's gone missing. So dice catapult, there we go. See, needs gluing together, but very clever. They're such clever people at Tower Rex. It's very impressive. So yeah, usually I don't need glue for their inserts, but this whole thing needs glue, so I need to buy some. Any recommendations for a good glue for these kinds of crafts would be fab. I don't want to be holding it with a mini clamp for ages, because I know that PVA glue is technically a wood glue, but it needs clamping, and I don't want to do that. And also super glue is dangerous. I get stuck to my fingers, and then my fingers get stuck together, and then it just feels horrible. Be safe with super glue, people. Mike says, Frog Quest sounds so fun. Awesome to have mixes like that to break down the different layers of people showing up to the wedding. Thanksgiving here, I taught my family a card game new to you. What was the card game? Obviously, yeah, many of you have just celebrated Thanksgiving. How did you incorporate board games into your day, or did you not get to? What kind of, were there party games? Did you play Cards Against Humanity? Mojo's the card game. Awesome. Really cool. I've not heard of that. Like many card games. There are bazillions. There's some fun facts. I actually recently did a radio interview just to talk about board games. It was about 4 a.m. When it went out. So no one's heard it. I've not even heard it yet because it was so early in the morning, if not late. And basically, I was asked, as like the knower of all board game facts, I was asked, has it been a good year for board games or for tabletop gaming? And the person I was chatting to didn't know anything about the industry that we're in, the world that we're in, the bubble that we are within. That's still a niche, technically, if we think about it. Still a lot of people, the mass audience, still don't really know much about like what the games that we play, so a lot of the conversation kind of kept sort of flip-flopping between me talking about the industry and then him talking about Scrabble. So I was very aware that would happen. But I'm just curious of your thoughts on what would be standout moments for this year for you if you looked at the board game world. What do you think? It could be some drama, could be some things that happened, some games that got released, some new games, new mechanics that you think, I've never seen that before. Those things could stand out to you. But yeah, the dog's here. The dog's here. Hello. Wonderful. You can't see him, but he's just wandered in with a waft of cold air. But yeah, I'd love to hear people's thoughts on, what kind of year has it been for you as a board gamer? What's been your game highlight? What's been your number one game? That kind of thing. You can all say Andromeda's Edge, obviously. I'm assuming that's number one for everyone. Joking. But yes. Oh, hi, Dobby. It's so lovely to see you. Would you like to come up? Would you? I have to move everything out of the way for your preciousness. Okay, make a choice. It's up to you. Mojo is super simple. It's the card game. Super simple and has some very fun player agency fun moments. 25th century game. Recently imported it. It plays up to 8, which is great for your weekly game night to pull in newbies and get people playing, connecting. That's awesome. I love a quick card game that can play with lots of people. One of ours is in Vino Morte, which is it's kind of the bit from Princess Bride with the poison. And you're just trying to work out who has the poison and who doesn't. And it's very quick and very simple, and it can play up to 9, I think. So yeah, I actually have some Christmas tea with me, which is very exciting. I'm going to be very British here and try not to spill it everywhere. Now, I don't know if Christmas tea is actually what I'm hoping it is. I'm slightly worried it's really fruity, because what does Christmas taste like? Let's be honest, it could be anything. It could be cinnamon, it could be fruitcake, it could be snow. What could it be? Who knows? Are you coming up here or not? Like, stop nudging me. Come on. Hup. Hup. All right. He's just staring at me. So you all know I have an active audience right here. And if I'm lucky, my husband will take Dobby away. But yeah, so I have some of that too. I'm yet to try it. Well, Christmas tea. I don't even know if Christmas tea is a flavor type. Is it a thing? If you say Christmas tea, does everyone know what that means? He's trying to entice him. Go, go. Cinnamon and clove. Well, he's just been sort of dragged slowly out of the room, so that was horrifying. Thank you. Seen in Vino Morte. It is a classic bluffing game. It is a classic bluffing game. But yes, I think this is still quite hot. We'll find out. We'll find out live if it's too hot. It's not too hot. I wouldn't say that has a strong flavor of anything. That's, as usual with a lot of herbal teas. It smells more like something than it tastes, which is such a classic. It does smell quite clovey. It's a little bit fruity, but it doesn't taste like much. It tastes like black tea. But you know, I'm still looking for my favorite tea. That's my goal. Peter and I have an affinity for tea. We enjoy tea, and I'm always looking for a new tea, seeing as I can't get my favorite in the UK anymore. Do I take honey with my tea? I do. Sometimes. Depends on the tea. With sweet teas, I do. Or like ones that work well with it. With certain teas, I don't. It could be too much. But I like to not stir it in, so the last dregs is a nice sort of warming honey taste. So, anyone joining? We're talking about board games, I swear. Yeah, so my question, which I want you to answer, is how do you incorporate board gaming or games in general into your holiday season? How do you celebrate? Do you do a bunch of escape rooms? Like, that's games. Do you enjoy just like, do you play games as you open presents? When I was a kid, and I have to use the right words here because it doesn't sound safe, but when I was a kid, we used to play games whilst we opened the presents. So the pile of presents got obnoxiously large, and I'm not like from a particularly well-off family or anything. We just bought a lot of stuff. Everyone, and there was like 9 of us, which isn't massive. That's my entire family, and we had a huge pile of presents. It got too much over the course of the years. Myself, when I was about 5, my brother's 6, my cousins are a little bit older. It was just too many presents, and it became silly. But what we would do is we'd play games in who would get like the next parcel. But also we would put prank presents in the piles. You can see why the pile got too big, because we had a prank presents, and it would be this sort of yearly task to see who did the best prank present. So sometimes we bought those. There were these toys that were very popular in the gadget shop when gadget shops were a thing in the UK. And there were these like a little bag with like a cat tail sticking out of it. And if you went near it, it would shake and go, wow, wow, wow. Or there was a little box. And if you went near it, little voice in it would go, knock, 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 please let me out, that kind of thing. And if you wrapped those, it would give people a spook. My dad also tried making ones that would go boom. I'm trying to use the right words. SEO would not hate. But yes, and they sometimes worked. They involved balloons or because people would often open the presents with a sharp object. Sometimes it didn't work, and it was just a sort of awkward moment of people trying to get it to work, which really kind of defeats the point. But yeah, that was often the way. And eventually we stopped doing that and we started just handing people their presents. One year Granny was very upset because everyone opened their presents so quickly she didn't see anything. So it's a balancing act. But it was fun for a while when I was a kid, trying to trick people or play silly games. They were not mean, they were just silly. The meanest one was giant present, like a huge one in the middle of the room, and it said my name on it. I knew it said my name on it, and it was from my cousin, and I was like, that's weird. He doesn't give me presents. And basically it was the last present because it was the biggest. They left it till last. And then I proceeded to open it. I was very excited. And I opened it. And there was a broken office chair inside. That's how big it was. And then another present. And then that got opened by someone else. And eventually it all just went around the room until finally it was a present for the person who gave it in the first place. And it was just like £3 or something, which was sad because that was the end of it. And I was like, that's not funny. But you know, different senses of humor. I take a lot of games with me and they always sit unopened in the corner because no one in my family plays games with me. I totally understand that. I think that's a lot of people's experiences, especially if your family aren't part of the same kind of game playing community as you. Like, it might be that the games that they want to play aren't games that you want to play as well. But luckily, my family are getting better and they do enjoy certain games. So I sort of figure out games that they would enjoy. A lot of what I do is figuring out games that certain people would enjoy and I recommend them. So I'm getting better at it anyway. And Doug's family like games that are, you know, sort of quizzy ones where it's who's that person, or you've got a name stuck to your head and you're trying to work out who it is. Now, those games aren't for me because I'm really bad at general knowledge. Names, faces, general knowledge. It's just, I don't like quiz games, like Trivial Pursuit, stuff like that. I genuinely just feel stupid the entire time because I can't just bring up that information quickly. I could tell you about the shore density of resin because of my degree, but I can't tell you who, you know, played the Hulk one year. So I think that's interesting sometimes. But I appreciate that you put in the effort and then people don't want to play. You made it, Ellie. Oh, sorry, here you go. Yes, shout out to Ellie, who said they would only join the live if I gave them a shout out. So shout out. I have tea. We were just talking about Christmas tea and what it should taste like with the Christmas, you know, label. And it's kind of just smelling festive. It smells festive, if that means anything, but it doesn't taste like much, which is a real shame. But this is the point of my advent calendar, my tea advent calendar, is I'm trying new teas out to see. That multi-box present sounds almost like a herbal tea that smells more than it tastes. Yeah, it was mean and memorable. I was quite young. But not as bad as the time that I got given this giant doll. I was like 3 years old. It was a giant doll. And it was supposed to be able to walk. And I didn't even ask. I don't remember even asking for a giant doll. It was just something they thought I would like. It was taller than me. And they got it, and I opened it and I was really excited. And then they got it out of the box and they all started trying to make it work. They were like, how do we make it walk? And I was, there's no way this doll is actually going to walk. It doesn't have its own like sense of gravity. And it didn't. And then within moments, this whole like, oh, it doesn't work. That's not worth the money. And it got put back in the box without even asking me, and we're returning it. And that was the end of that. And I remember it. And I don't remember much of my childhood because I have a really, really like bad image memory. But I do remember that because that was traumatic. I made double strength coffee this morning. I needed it. What in like, did you like a small one? Did you just shoot it? Because I've never had like a proper coffee before, so I don't really know. I don't enjoy the smell, so I assume I wouldn't enjoy the taste. But just like a little one or like a big frothy double strength coffee. I have to know. I have Marvel, Lego, Spider-Man calendar. Oh, that's adorable. Oh, I think that I'm trying to work out. Do you get like a whole scene or different characters, or are they little men? I like the Lego calendars. I've never had one because I've always had like either handmade ones when I was younger, and then I slowly moved into escape room ones, and now tea. I also have a wooden one, which I was just showing that I made this tiny dice catapult from the Tower Rex one. I'm realizing holding tea makes me sort of one-handed. And I also made this cool magnetic box which holds fate thingies for D&D, which I have no idea what they do, but I'm very excited about this box. It's little bits that eventually make a scene. He's 9. That's adorable. Yeah, I love Lego. If the Lego will fit on a shelf, I'm not gonna go get it, but I have like little Lego bricks people, and I also have some non-Lego branded mini people. I like those because I can display them. I also have the Animal Crossing houses that they did recently because I can display them. If it's like a big set that I can't display because I have a very small flat, then I literally have to be like, can't do it. Even though the Lord of the Rings set looks amazing of Rivendell, I would happily do that and then someone else display it. It was like, can I just build it? That would be awesome. I always make my coffee strong. I also like it large. I had 2 of those today. Very good. I love it. I've also gotten my family to play Nimit 6. They like to play it by betting money. I've never heard the end of it from my daughters. You betted. Oh my goodness. I have played that. I've not betted with anything ever. Maybe buttons, but I don't think I've ever done that. But whatever makes it fun. I have a bunch of Lego plants I've done. They're on my mantle next to my real plants. I really want those. I actually love crocheted, other ways to have plants that don't require looking after, because my plant situation is pretty bad. The ones in the bathroom, only the ferns are alive. Everything else just sort of looks a bit sad and sort of just falling into the bath, and I have to clean the bath. So I really like crocheted or Lego plants, any way that I can avoid looking after them whilst also being crafty. Nice collection of games. He's talking about this. This is a fraction. It's a fraction of the situation. In fact, some have had to go in the loft. It's really sad, but I've reached the point of the limit now where there were just games stacked up everywhere. There still is games stacked up everywhere, but it's less. So yeah. I've never had a proper coffee until I was 40. Also did not like the flavor of the actual drink. Would eat coffee, candy, or ice cream. Or I've tried everything Spanish coffee, and they're like, yeah, I think I've liked coffee sweets before. There's like I think a Polish one that's got it's a like a boost of energy, but I've never had coffee, and apart from one time when I tried to stay awake using it and it did the opposite. You need to show me the micro crochet plant earrings my friend gave me. They sound, and my ears aren't pierced, but I will happily look at crochet plants. Love it. But yeah, we're talking about, anyone that's just joined us, we're talking about lots of things, Christmas mostly, but how you incorporate games into your Christmas, festive or whatever holiday you're celebrating into this time of year when people tend to take a break. Whether you get a chance to, maybe you don't get the chance to. I definitely experienced that when I was getting into the hobby and everyone around me and my family going, I don't understand this game or this game. And I was trying really hard to get them into games that they just would never play. Although my mum has played Isle of Cats, and I think that's pretty good for her. I think that's probably like that and Azul, and they also play Carcassonne, though my dad does get a bit sleepy because it can go on very long. That's what you get for including every expansion. Have I tried the Wooble stuff? I do not know. No, I haven't, because I don't know what that is. Another reason I figured out in my late teens, I either had to have caffeine or not. I chose not. I hit 40 and now I have some caffeine. Coffee every day. Will drink cold day old. I try and drink cold tea when I've wasted it, but maybe not. I gave games as gifts. Yeah, I do that. I've done that. I think there's a point, isn't there? There's like a sort of journey of a gamer, right? And it's interesting. It's been discussed a few times. And there are points around that when gifting makes sense, or being given games makes sense. So when you just start out, you don't have much of a collection. People can gift you games, and you can, feel like, yeah, great, any game. I'm still working out the games I enjoy. But when you're at my point, which is at the point of being more careful about the amount that I buy, I'm no longer kickstarting all the time because of space and money. Giving me a game, just like recently for the wedding, someone said, what games on your list, like for BGG or something? And I said, my BGG is not up to date, and I just wouldn't right now, because we're in a state of flux with all of our games going on. Even the small games collection is overflowing. So yeah, it's risky to give games when someone's got a lot. Maybe best to give them, say, a their local shops voucher or something like that, or a board game magazine like Senate or Tabletop Gaming or whatever you have in your country, because those are the British ones. Those things are good. Vouchers and stuff, if you want to give them the gift of gaming. I like it when people give me an escape room voucher, but it has to be a good escape room. You get a headache if you don't get the caffeine. I think Doug's the same. My husband, it's weird to say that. My husband, he started having like tea every morning, and now if he doesn't have his tea, he gets grouchy. Whereas I don't drink tea at a specific time or every day, apart from at the moment with my advent calendar. So I've managed to avoid that, but maybe I do get headaches. So maybe that's what I've built up. I try to give games for things they like, i.e. gardening or knitting. That's nice. And they're good themes for games. There's a lot of knitting, or a lot of sewing themed, and there's a lot of gardening ones or outside nature ones, aren't there? But yeah, so yeah, how obviously if there are any questions related to Cardboard Alchemy as well, I should probably just update you on where they're at right now and what they're doing. So Peter, who's normally here chatting to me, he is at PAX Unplugged, which is a massive board game convention in Philadelphia, and he's also there with Chris Strain, part of the Cardboard Alchemy team, and also Luke Laurie, who is one of the designers of Andromeda's Edge. They're on the Lucky Duck Games stand, and they are showing off Andromeda's Edge to people, which is really cool. I believe Luke's doing a bunch of games and stuff. I don't know exactly their plan, other than that they've got some signings, some games they're playing. Will, the Hungry Gamer, I don't even know why I'm telling you this, because he's probably given them all away already. But he had a come find me at PAX Unplugged. I've got some promos for Flamecraft. So he's been doing that, and it did very well. He's been giving clues as to where he is, and I think he's now down to about 2. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And yeah, that's what they're doing at the moment. A lot of the stuff that I'm doing right now is sort of starting to create a lot of the content and things that you'll see when Critic Kitchen does start arriving for people. So we like to give a lot of information. We like to make helpful videos about boxing and stuff like that. Obviously, I did that for Andromeda's Edge, and so we want to make sure we do that for every game. And also we learn from each game as the kind of information or entertaining content people want to see. So there is stuff coming. We've already filmed a lot of stuff as well at the retreat that we had with some amazing content creators. That's in the works as well. So there's a lot of stuff that people can start to enjoy as they either wait or just receive Critic Kitchen, which is cool. At the moment, I think it starts to wind down a bit around this time of the year, just sort of getting all of our ducks in a line. So starting to make plans for next year in terms of events we're going to, in terms of structure of how we're going to tell people about what we're doing next year, because it's a really exciting year for Cardboard Alchemy. I can't tell you anything specifically about what we're actually doing next year, but I can say it's very exciting, and a lot of this year was preparing for next year. So really looking forward to sharing it with all of you, which is my job, which is awesome. But also I can't tell you right now. But when I can, oh boy, you just wait and see. So yeah, thank you, Sean. Love Andromeda's Edge a lot. I'm so pleased. It's a really fun game. I was playing it loads, and I really, and like when I was filming and everything, we played it like every time I'd have to film something. At the moment the lounge is full of a Christmas tree, so my space for playing it is down, but I really want to play it again soon. It's really fun. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. I don't think I did. Peter said that Whisperwood is coming. When specifically, I don't have that information for you, but they're working on it. It's really exciting. So Whisperwood, for those that don't know, is a game that we're working on. It is designed by parts of our team, actually, which is really cool. Brad and Chris, and Chris's partner. So it's really exciting. They've been working on it for a while, and it's got really beautiful art by Sergio Chavez. And actually the art is based on like the golem that's often behind Peter in these lives and everything. It's really cool. Really reminds me personally of the robot from Laputa Castle in the Sky. It's actually my favorite character from all of Ghibli, is that long-armed robot that has like nature and squirrels growing on it, and it's really beautiful. So yeah, gotta go to a meeting. Just like don't. That's fine. Enjoy. Um, um, be weary, quiet. We're working on case. The golem from the first three cup holders. Yes, the coasters from the first. So our first ever Kickstarter was for coasters and bits like that to sort of just tell everyone about us and also show off like some of the beautiful art that we are interested in doing. And actually, yeah, we've ended up making some of the games from that, which is really cool. And yeah, the golem was one of those. Oh, thank you so much, Jen. I it was a wonderful wedding, and I'm not I'm not very good at talking about it with face to face with people. I've had a lot of experience with people go, tell me everything. And I'm happy to talk about it with all of you. It's a very different experience. But it's so funny when people go, show me a picture. And you're just like, here's my dog at the wedding. Here's another picture of my dog at the wedding. Which is not, I don't think that's what they want. I don't really know what people do want though. This is all very new for me. Um, Coasters, you always forget it. I mean, I get it. I understood what you meant. Whisperwood is a bag builder where players are leveling up and affecting the game board. The version I playtested in the earliest one was very fun. Thank you so much for saying that. That is what it is, a bag builder, and I love bag builders. So I'm very. I have not played it yet. That's the sort of stages where I get involved. I have been playtesting other things, but I haven't played that yet. Usually, sort of, there's a point when the more of the team start to get involved, and we start to sort of discuss how we're going to talk about it and the themes and the story and those kinds of things in regards to telling everyone about it, that kind of thing. So love this, love it. I'm not even going to talk about it. But basically, yeah, so I played some things and I haven't played Whispered yet, but I'm really excited too because it looks so beautiful. But there's a lot going on. We're cooking a lot of things. And one of the main things we're working on is getting Critter Kitchen. It's currently on ships, and then when it gets to distribution centers, and there's all load of organization involved and stuff because there's a lot of stuff, and then we start to get it out to everyone early next year. But it's all those stages are being worked on whilst we're also doing everything else. There's a lot of overlapping, like new game, other game, release, like it's stages. Was my dog the ring bearer? No, I would not trust him with that. Not at all. He was in the wedding the whole day. He was there all day, and he wore a little waistcoat that I made him and a little sort of hobbity coat that was made for him. And yeah, he was a good boy all day. He did whine during the ceremony. It was a key moment during vows and stuff. He was like, which was funny for a while, and then eventually we picked him up and he was fine. I recently discovered Flamecraft and I love it. It's so cute and I enjoy it so much. I'm so pleased to hear that. I mean, Flamecraft is kind of how I ended up in this position to be privileged to be able to be talking to all of you. And yeah, it's such a beautiful game, and it's one of those ones where I think a lot of people can sort of get into it from other games. Like someone just recently asked me on my personal like social channel, they said, my kids are this old and we've mostly just played Monopoly and Cluedo and stuff. Would you say that we could play Flamecraft? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. That's a great point to be moving on to. That means technically 10 and up, but I've heard of a lot of younger kids playing, and it all just depends on the kid, doesn't it, a lot of the time. So but yeah, I'm really pleased that you're enjoying it. And when someone says they've just discovered it, I do have to say there is upgrades on our shop and plush of the dragons. There's a lot of stuff, and it's awesome. There's coins and there's all that stuff. I mean, I actually am one of the people that bought the bits when it was really like all the excess was released from the Kickstarter, because I backed it, but I backed it as standard. I don't even know what I was thinking. It was a strange time for me, but yeah. So I was one of those people that was like, "Give me all the stuff." And now I have all of it. You got all the coins and the items. Yes, that's awesome. Do you have a favorite coin? I know it's a really weird question, but if you've got the new ones, I like the Potion Dragon the most. I like the design of that one's really beautiful. But obviously the fancy coin is stunning. But yeah, has anyone got board games on their Christmas list or anything board game adjacent? that they're asking for. On Doug's birthday list, because his birthday's on Tuesday, he has asked for birthday and Christmas. It's the joy of this time of year, you combine them. He has asked for it's the Paperback Adventures solo games, Alice is Missing, and a bunch of other ones which weren't even available yet. So classic, good stuff. Oh, you got the older ones. Ah, interesting. They're still knocking around there. We don't know where, but they're still some the older ones. This is cold now, so that's delightful. It's not too bad lukewarm. That's a good sign of an okay tea. I'm gonna put it down there so I can move. Oh, from eBay. You got them from eBay. Well, there we go. However you need to get the goods. But yeah. And also, has anyone got any fun advent calendars? I'm really enjoying watching people unbox advent calendars, like board game themed ones. I was just showing off my thing I made today from my one little box, which is really, really cute. I like it a lot. My dog whined when it came time to object because he didn't want to give you up. I mean, that's true. He was not happy about us just standing there without him. That's for sure. My wife has her birthday coming up, and she will divorce me if I ever dare to combine a birthday present and Christmas present, unless the present is something like a car or a house. Wow, I mean, if it's a car or a house, 100% combine that, whatever time of year. No, we're not combining them. He just combines the list. So his list is loads of things, and then I use that. No. Combined presents. I had them as a kid because my birthday's in January. Gotta say, very unfulfilling. Not fun. But also hard to separate sometimes. I get it. It's a difficult time of year. And from Germany, it's a bit tricky to get all the stuff. Ah, okay. Well, we do have a UK store that ships out to Europe, just so you know. If you fancy doubling up and getting the new stuff as well. The new minis are really cute. They got little props and everything. And even then, I better get something small for Christmas as well. I love it. I buy myself so many games throughout the year that I don't ask for them for gifts anymore. My husband tries to get me upgrades or storage instead of my favorite games though. Yeah, I get that. I'm at a point where I'm like, I just buy it. Like I literally recently bought this jumper whilst trying to find things to put on the list. I was like, I'm just gonna buy it. It's on off. So I purposely don't tell my family that I want anything game related. They don't board game, and past history is that they get me stuff that I'll never play, even if I name specific items. That is so true. If you put a game on there, they might go, something, a game then, cool. And then you get, I don't know, some version of Monopoly with some IP attached. Yeah, I totally get that. For the wedding, I was expecting a lot of games. We only got 2. And they weren't really games, so that was good going that no one really did that. Because again, the situation is there's a lot of games here and there's more coming. I missed the Critic Kitchen Kickstarter. Do you know when it will be available in retail? I don't have an exact date. All I know is that we will be sending out all the backers games early next year, and then once everyone has theirs, or once like all the shipping is started and everything, then we'll have a date and everything for that. So we don't have a specific one. We will also have some, so we will aim to have some left over as well of the deluxes and stuff within our store once everyone's got theirs. We haven't even done the Andromeda's Edge shop for that yet, so it's something that takes a little while, but it will be next year. Not a very helpful answer. I'm really sorry about that. That's where we're at. But yeah, the retail ones is really beautiful, neat little package. It's stunning, and there's so much art. It's so beautiful. I'm very lucky to have all of it ready to photograph. I mean, literally, I can show you some things that are next to me. Hi, Mark. How are you doing? How many games are you on now of Andromeda's Edge? I must know. Let me grab. I've got some. Is it gonna fall? No. Look at that. Pro move. One of the weirdest wedding presents and the most delightful was the team at Lorcana, like Ravensburger UK, sent me 2 Hey Heys. These are not special or anything, but they just put them in a wedding card because I love Hey Hey. So that was really fun. So yeah, I actually have over here some the Trivet. This is actually not specifically 90 is set up on the table. Look at that, number 90, amazing. But yeah, so this is the potion logo for Cardboard Alchemy, and it's heat resistant trivet, so you can put hot things on it. So I've got a couple of those for photographing and keeping on hand for stuff like this, really, showing it off. And then I also have the, can I open one? I probably can. I hope I'm allowed to show this. I assume I am. We've showed photos. Peter's like, no. Look at this beauty. This is one of the merch that people were getting. And a really fun story about this oven mitt is that this form of oven mitt was not one that many of the team knew about. The one mitt one. In America, from my understanding, they normally have just separate ones or one that you grab. This is very common in the UK. And when we were talking about how to have one that had the most art on it, because look at this beautiful art, I said, well, why can't you do one of these where it's got, this is really common to me. I don't even know what this is particularly called. And then we wanted to have paws on it as well. So it kind of added this little bit of fun with the paws, but also lots of art, because it's really important to us that we feature as much of Sindara Tang's stunning art as possible. And it'll hang up, which is really cool. And yeah, it's so beautiful. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, this is them in the Chef Academy, which kind of looks like the Bake Off tent from Great British Bake Off, or you call it something else in America, but or wherever you are. There are many names. But yes, it's really cool. And I've got again a couple of those, which again for like photographing and using and that kind of stuff. I've even got a chef's jacket, which is not a thing that people can get a hold of for photographing. So I've got the full kit. But yeah, but it's really beautiful. And I really was in need of a new one. My other one is quite gross. And then I also have the tea towels, which are beautiful. Again, they're just so lovely. Sindara did such a lovely job, and they're just so like, they're not. Hello. People are chatting and I missed something. And then yeah, look at that. Look at that. So cute. Really good size and everything, and the colors are so lovely. Very, very vibrant. But yeah, I just like the detail. little lizard. But yeah, and there's two different ones. I'm gonna get the other one out. I just love the use of the little symbols of the food types, because there are 7 food types in the game. 7's a very important number in Critter Kitchen, and I just love the little. What about an Andromeda's Edge bomber jacket? That would be cool. I actually have a really niche Premier Inn. It's like a NAF hotel over here. One that I won when I worked for them as a teen. Awesome to see the Critter Kitchen. Oh, you don't have the. If you want to join us over on YouTube, you should be able to just click what you're watching. In theory, I'm not 100% sure, or just go to the go to the Critter Kitchen page. Is it on there? I'm not 100% sure actually. We'll go to the Discord, and someone gets in there as well, or it's on our Instagram stories. I put it there as well, so there's a bunch of places. But yeah, so this is the. Look at the little group of them together. So cute, and then the little details. It's giving kitchen, and I love it. But yeah, again, sort of matching colors. They work really well together. There's even the little. Look at the little detail of the little logo. I love it. But yeah, I'm very excited to start using them. But for now, they have to stay pristine for filming and photography and unboxing and stuff like that. So I'm not very good at folding. So there we go. And that's everything that's directly within reach. There's a box of stuff that I can't rummage through right now, but yeah. Well, thanks for sharing the link, Mike. But yeah, so it's a really fun time right now. It's always fun at Cardboard Alchemy, but the next year's going to be so busy and exciting, and we're already discussing like what events we're going to go to and what we're doing. And as we've said, we just ran a t-shirt competition where you could win a Critter Kitchen, Planecraft, an Andromeda's t-shirt, and we've finished it now. It's over, but we are planning and now in the process of working on getting that to people. Like it's been held off a bit because it wasn't like a priority because we had other stuff going on. But next steps will be making those available for people to buy if they want, using a print on demand service. Print on demand is a bit different than us. We don't have stock. It's if you order it, it's printed by a company and then shipped from them. That's how print on demand works. Makes it a bit easier for everyone all over the world to get them. But it needs a little bit more like testing and checking and making sure that the quality is exactly how we want them to be. But yeah, they're really cool designs. And obviously we did do a bunch of Andromeda's Edge t-shirts with different factions on them and things like that. So if you have a favorite faction, I'm not saying we're doing all of them, but you might get it. So yeah. And actually right now I'm wearing like a Scout t-shirt. So I do love my board game t-shirts. So I've got quite a few now. It's the drawer is starting to become very specifically board gamey. But yeah. I'm just curious if anyone like I'm now in the process of starting to watch a lot of Christmas movies. If anyone has any recommendations for ones that are very good, please let me know, because I've not actually seen as many as you think. So feel free to give me your Christmas movie or Christmas watching recommendations, and also keep telling me about how you incorporate games into your holiday season. For me, we used to have this like quiz / questy challengey day on Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas if anyone does not have a Boxing Day where they are. It's an official public holiday in the UK, and we would spend it with our friends, and we'd run these teams, and there'd be things all over the house stuck up on the walls where there would be questions or challenges, like trying to get Smarties out of a bowl of flour with your face. That one was not so fun. Don't do that. Flour is really dangerous to do that with. But yeah, and then there was also just like quizzes and questions, and eventually these sort of became bigger and bigger, and we do like photo challenges where we all had to go and do stuff. I actually think there was a question earlier which I may have missed, asking about Potion Con. Did I miss it? I may have missed it. There we go. Axel said, "Are we getting a Potion Con too?" I can't say right now. We're in the process of working out our strategy and where to spend our time next year. Potion Con was a lot of fun, but it was also a lot of work. So it's working out how to, where we have time to do those kinds of things, because we loved doing it. It was so much fun. But it's like where, when, how kind of stuff like that. So it's not a no, but it's just kind of, we're now in the process of going, right, next year, what are all the things we want to do? Are they feasible to do all of them? What are the priorities? That kind of thing. So yeah. We always, oh, here we go. You get the dog park game. I have the dog park game. Dog park, yeah. I like it. It's good. It's big. My mum didn't fully understand what was going on. I actually think Forever Home by the same company is a little bit more easy for people to learn. It's using polyomino pieces, Tetris style pieces, and it's about making patterns and getting dogs into the right homes. It's very sweet and smaller and more compact. But dog park is obviously all about walking dogs. It's really beautiful. A Christmas Story is one of my traditions. We also play the game after watching. Oh, there's a game called A Christmas Story. That's adorable. My favorite Christmas movie is Klaus, which is on Netflix, and it's so beautiful. And it's the story of a postman sent to the middle of like Snersburg, I think it's called, a town that is not friendly or happy or whatever, and his effect on that place. And it's beautiful. We always bring an entry or party game to play. This year for my husband's family, we decided to not do gifts. Instead, we are having a trivia game time where the entry fee is making a donation. That's awesome. I love that. I think making memories and experiences together is a very good way of spending, doing gifts. That's a lot of what Doug and I try to do is we give each other tickets to stuff, or we go do things together, because I've got a lot of stuff, and I love memories and experiences, so I totally get that. Gaming is about that as well, isn't it? Oh, make a donation to whichever charity you choose. Then we'll do a Jeopardy layout where the categories will feature a different style of game, like Wheel of Fortune, Family. That's awesome. I love that. And the fact that you're donating to charity. I genuinely, when I read the first bit, thought it was just like a pool of money that someone would win. I was like, great. Biannually sounds like a nice way to do it. Is that twice a year, or is that once every couple of years? Because my brain right now, it's warm in this room. As you could probably tell as I'm slowly getting rid of Christmas Story, the board game. I don't know this. I have to check this out. There's a bunch of Christmas games, isn't there? There was one about like Santa's Workshop, which looks really cool. I've not played it. And I've got a couple of, they're not specifically Christmas. They're more winter festival. There's one which is kind of about Nordic markets, which is actually quite fun. And there was another one which I'm not remembering the names of these. It's not very helpful. It's actually both. But in this case, I mean once every 2 years. English is weird that way. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's a weird language. First Contact is new to me game based on codename system. Aliens teaching humans a language is to play. Quite fun. Ah, very cool. My replacement for Codenames is Similo, which is a cooperative picture clue based game. I really like that one a lot, and it's small, and there's loads of themes. I like Holiday with Kate Winslet. Oh, Holiday. You mean The Holiday? It's a classic. I always wonder though, at the end, not to spoil it for everyone, but they get together, shocker, and they're all like having a great time. But in theory, they still live really far apart. And I always think like, there's no way they're actually staying together, right? She has a job. This is everyone around me going, it doesn't matter, but I'm like, it matters to me. I once went to a talk with Simon Pegg because he wrote his thesis at university about When Harry Met Sally, and he someone said, do you think they're still together? And he said, I don't care. The end of the movie is the end of the movie. So that's Simon Pegg for you. First Contact is more of a game. Not sure it replaces. Okay, interesting. I've not heard of it. I like a lot of games. There's so many. Apparently, there are over 3,000 new games made every year. That's a big number. So and then most people don't even know about most of them, which is just this bubble that they need to all discover. It would be really lovely if they did, because it's such a fun hobby. But yeah, if there's any other questions you have for me related to Cardboard Alchemy or not, please feel free to ask. I am happy to answer what I can answer. Look, it's tiny flamecraft art. It's not tiny, but it's far away, and that's, I think, Everdell. But yeah, on my Christmas list, I don't think I asked for any games specifically because I have a lot to play. It's like a stack. But I think I asked for like jumpers. Now I'm at that age where I just want woolly things. But yeah, I don't even think I really need to write Christmas lists anymore. It's just about my mum who needs help. But, I keep picking up my tea and then remembering it's cold, like sort of checking my phone. I don't know what that problem. Is there something coming from Cardboard Alchemy before? I don't even know why I'm showing this because I can't answer this question. I mean, yes, I'm pretty sure I can say yes. I think so. If I can't, oops. But yes, it's there is stuff. There are things coming. Yeah. Where can we find the address to send things to Cardboard Alchemy? There's actually addresses on our game boxes. It's on the box. See, I think you can send stuff there. I probably need to check that, but I'm pretty sure the address is on the box. But you can send stuff to. If not, then ask in our, if you're not sure, like I sound, then ask in our Discord and we can give you a place. And is it nice things? Is it nice things? I figured you say yes or no. But yeah, it should be on the box. Normally it is. But yeah. This is like strategy time for laying out everything. I mean, there are plans in place. It's working out when I can say things. That's the sort of strategy time. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm sort of looking back a lot at now we start guessing. I'm looking back a lot at what was done before for Flamecraft, and obviously, it's good to sort of look back at what we sort of started talking about for Flamecraft, for Andromeda's Edge, for Critic Kitchen, and those processes, and what did well and what didn't reach people, and that kind of thing. And I love looking at how Flamecraft was shared with the world, because it's one of the first like big times that really really popped off. And Sundara's, if you look back at Sundara Tang's, what she was posting, it was so lovely seeing all the little sneak peeks and stuff that she was doing. It's really sweet. And I wasn't really a part of that, obviously. I didn't work for them then, and I didn't see those things. So yeah. I was going to send a Christmas card. That's very sweet. Yes. That address should be fine. It should be. I can check. If you message on the Instagram, you'll get through to me, and then I will make sure I actually check that, because I can't check it right now. Peter should start a guessing channel on Discord. We had good fun attempting to guess the name that ended up being Critic Kitchen. I mean, you can start a guessing game. I don't think no one will say anything yet. We are waiting. So yeah. I think I'm running on 3,000 games in your collection. 3,000 games in your collection. I actually can't even think what 3,000 games looks like. As someone with about 400 plus, I haven't counted in a while. I don't even think I can count. It's reached the point of I can't count. And I don't know whether they're all, I mean, I'm in a small place, so maybe that makes a difference, but I can't fathom having 3,000 games. I don't even think my local board game cafe has 3,000 games. I think they must have 800 or something. We always get it in the end. That might be the reason why. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe don't guess. I have a bit over 100 games, and I'm starting to cull. Yeah, I can understand. It really just depends on your space and everything as well. So it does depend. But yeah, I get, like, on the other side of it, waiting for information is frustrating, but it's at the same time, it's really fun when we get to tell you when the way that we want to tell you. So yeah. Try and forget for a little while. Then we'll be like, surprise. Yeah. You're including expansions. Even then, I do not have 3,000 games. That's amazing. How are you organizing? How are you finding a game that you want? Because I own a lot of DVDs still. I'm quite retro, I guess, in that we still Doug has a lot of DVDs, and I had a bunch, and then we combined them. And we had to create like a system, because Doug only remembered them by the color of the spine. And so the order was all color coded on the shelves, and I was just couldn't find anything, because I didn't know the color of the side of Truman Show. I didn't know the color of the side of anything. Apart from guessing that Marvel is space themed, or Star Wars is space themed, I didn't know what anything was. We had to change it, because it was just infuriating me on my own, going, I can't find Mean Girls. 50 games. I've played 600 games. I mean, I'm actually amazed, like, because Mark, you play a game a lot. As you said, you play 600 games between Dwellings and Andromeda's Edge. It's a different kind of gamer, isn't it? Like, it's amazing. If I'm lucky, if I've played a game 5 times, the smaller games get played a lot more. I've probably played Railroad Inc. probably hundreds of times. I probably played OK Play like 50 times. But the bigger ones, obviously, it's getting those set up and played, and then the fact that I get so many new games all the time really makes it difficult to do that. And I try to set a goal every year of playing my older games. The amount of times I've thought, I'd really like to play Last Will again. It's one of my favorite games. I'd like to play Last Will. I'd like to play Indian Summer, and I don't. I try and make videos about them just to sort of give me, time to do it. But it's just at this point, it's impossible with the amount of games coming. I'm so excited by the new games that I don't. Maybe if I had a gaming group, I'd be more likely to play games more often, the same ones again, because the dynamic can change and shift, and you can work out those games together. But because it's just me and Doug, like 99% of the time, we can't help but play the new ones. Last Will is very fun. It doesn't look fun. The board doesn't look fun, but it's such a silly game. And Shut Up Sit Down got me playing it because their video on it is amazing. So it's one of my favorites. It's very silly, and I like to. It's a game about your uncle has so sadly passed, and because he didn't spend his life being frivolous and fun, he's like, I'm going to give all my money to the one that's the most frivolous and spenny. So you get given a little bit of money, and the fastest to spend it wins. And so you get to buy a property, depreciate it in value by throwing parties and just generally messing it up, and then selling it for a lot less. Or you could spend your time, like I do, taking horses to dinner with chefs on boats, which is what I like to do, and also throwing massive parties. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really like it, and you get little top hat meeples. It's really cute. It's one I've had for a long time now, and that's why it doesn't get played very often. The repeated play is fun. The challenge is keeping the playing field level for new players. But yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think there's certain games that are designed for. Well, all games are designed for multiple play, but there's certain games that are very much designed for multiple play. Like the reason I haven't played Root is because I do not have the time to invest in Root. So that's why I love game trays with lids. Grab and go if you need to. Game trays is amazing for that. Absolutely. Like I mean, I've got there is a bunch like literally up there. You could probably see the edge of a stack of them that I've got. So yeah, I'm a big fan of little wooden bowls and ramekins as well. I even got some lids for ramekins, which fit really perfectly. So, but yeah, it's already been an hour. That's awesome. Hopefully, I haven't said anything I wasn't supposed to. I remember when Chris did his, he was like, "Can I say that?" Pretty sure I'm okay. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with me. I'm back next week, as is Peter. I think I'm pretty sure, unless PAX just takes it out of him. You never know. Sometimes it does with conventions. I'd love it if people commented under this video, like the actual comments, not the live chat, what they're playing this weekend. I also like to give you a fun word to say if you got this far, if you watched the whole thing. So that word is going to be I like to do a vegetable normally. An excellent carrot stew recently. So carrot. Yeah. And yeah, I love chatting to all of you, and it's we've got a lot of things that coming up that I can actually talk about soon, which I'm really excited about. So, but the time being, I will just continue to waffle in the way that I do, in my very British way. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to War Game Cafe, so I am playing some games. I don't know what. Probably end up teaching Flamecraft, won't I? Because Flamecraft is there. And Andromeda's Edge is there too. So maybe I'll get to play Andromeda's Edge. Unlikely, because only for 3 hours, and teaching it would take a bit of time. So, but that would be awesome, wouldn't it? But yeah, this is me playing with some magnets. Sorry. It's a thing I like to do. Carrot on everyone. Absolutely. Let's end that there. Carrots for everyone. Have a fantastic, whatever you're doing this weekend, next week, festive period. I'll see you next week. Goodbye. I'm so good at goodbyes, aren't I? Goodbye.